We're going to move on to the columns here now, and let's get into the ground floor plan. Okay, now what I noticed here is that the balconies are not projecting out as has been done in previous versions. It's actually kind of an internal balcony. So what you don't really want here is a column in the middle of the balcony either, you know. And I've gone through onto the south elevation, and it looks to me like again there's no columns right in the corner there blocking views and things like that. So we're going to have to take that into account. Also, if I go into the ground floor here, and I'll just turn on the wireframe, you're getting a hint of where some columns could be positioned. Now, obviously, these would just be from the basement to the ground floor only. But if there's a gap in the parking here, it's probably because there's a column in there. And again, you would have, in terms of the spans going across and being able to support that ground floor slab, you'll have discussed that with Connor here. So I think it's more what I'm going to do is I'm going to work out the columns in this area first here. So this would be kind of our ground to first floor level, and I'm going to take the first floor level and I'm going to start there, which might seem a little bit unusual. It is unusual, but this is the advantage of being able to model this up first. And why am I doing that? It's because again, you don't want columns appearing where there's windows either, do you? You know, you want the columns into the wall, kind of hidden in the wall. You don't want them to put columns in, put your precast concrete facade with your window inserts coming in and find out that the window is looking at a column. So that's why I'm going about it this way. Right, so I don't have the PDF of the first to fourth floors here. So if we go into ground, that's it there. If I select it and put it onto the copy clipboard, I can now come into my first floor plan, and I can hit paste and say paste to the same position. All right, and again, if I just swap that out to wireframe, you can see what we got here. Now I might just pin that PDF into position there as well. Okay. Right, so this is what I'm talking about here, is that we want to have this kind of open and free of columns, but we do need columns. So I'm thinking that we could have a column in here and a column in there. So what I'm going to do in order to get that to work for me and to be able to carry it down through is I'm not going to put in grids. I'm going to put in some reference planes here. Okay, so I'm going to go from the center of that wall out there, escape, and then again say the center here. All right, now that means I'll have a column in here and a column in there, and then I'm going to repeat that exercise over here as well, and over here and over there. And the reference planes will continue down through the levels. So if I go into my ground floor plan and put in a hidden line here, you can see there's so they're kind of like acting as grids because they're going down through the levels, and even in here you can see there they are there as well. So again, this is what I mean about if I position a column here, that's going to be fine in terms of car parking. But if I position a column there, now we're going to have to do something about that car parking spot there as well. So this is where planning, you need to think about these things in terms of planning it out. Now if I go back to my first floor plan, okay, so the next position where I could put a column would be in here. And I don't know if I'm going to gain anything out of that in terms of that car parking space down below. All right, so bear with me while I put in my reference planes in the four other corners here. Now I've got those all of those reference planes in place, okay, like so. Now where else am I going to be putting columns? Well, that's going to be a major structural wall across there, I think, and that's going to be a major structural wall across there. So I'm putting a column in here, and I'm going to put a column in there as well. And let's just try that just to kick it off as such. So I'm going into the first floor plan again here, and I'll just change from wireframe to hidden. Right, now columns. So we're into structure. I'm into structural columns here, and let's see what we've got. So we're looking for an in situ cast rectangular. So 300 by 300. That's the one I'm looking for there. Okay. Now you can see that the column comes and the insertion point is the intersection of right into the center of the column there. All right, so if that's the case, then that's what I'm looking for here, the intersection of that grid line and the reference plane. All right, now I'm going to put one in just to start with. All right, and you can see I can't see it because columns are a little bit awkward at the best of times. So let's get around here. There it is down there, look. Okay, so just for the moment I'm going to shift this now. I'm going to put it up to the second floor level from the first floor level, like so, and I could probably join those in there, right, but let's just get a distance here from there to there, 650. So if I now you can see as well its position in relation to the slab edge. All right, so we might need to shift that in a piece there if we're going to be able to get our precast unit in there, right? So let me go back to the first floor plan. Let's align this now. So align to there, align that. Okay. Now let's take a look at that. All right, that's not bad. It's not perfect. Just do that again. Do this. No, doesn't want to do that. Okay. So anyway, I'll get that into position. So that's what I'm going to do there. And as I said, we could put in a minus 650 here as well, so that it comes in just there. Now that I've got one in, I'll go up to the first floor plan. And again, I'm just going to align to the grid. Align the edge there. Doesn't want to do that, so I'm just going to physically bring it across like so. Okay, now that's better. Right, so I can take this now and go create similar. Again, so on the grid, but roughly there. So you can see what I'm going to do now is now again, you see here's a little thing that's quite inside the apartment, but remember we've got glazing going in around here, so but then again we're going to get problems with thermal transmittance unless we can surround these with a bit of insulation or whatever, you know. So really they should be in here a wee bit more. And if that's the case, then I'm going to need to pull my slab out and various things like that. Okay, so again, you can see where modeling this up really brings into focus those kind of design decisions that we have to make as well. So let's bring that up to, start up here, up to second floor, to first floor, and minus 650. Now, so now that works out fine for me there, except let's get into, let's get back up here. Let's turn on the, let's get it, go into a wireframe here. Now, Yeah, look, that's okay. It's been accounted for here. Grand. Okay, so we're going to the finish face. The exterior finish face is going to the grid line, and we will copy those around there. So let me do that, and I will get back to you. Now I've got those in place on my first floor here. You can see my columns there. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to copy those and drop them down onto the ground floor and see how that works out for us. Okay, so right click, select all instances visible in the view, copy clipboard, paste to selected levels, and it's to the ground floor. And we'll put these in the foundation as well. Okay, so let's check the ground floor first. There they are there. And again, if I go into a wireframe here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move my so align, do this, align that, do this, align that. Now we should be good. Okay, so, and again you can see there's box outs here, so somebody was thinking ahead. So I think we're good on the ground floor. Let's get into the foundation level. And so here's the columns here. Now again, this is where the problem might be. Not so much worried about the ground floor level in one sense. We could always put a slab thickening in here or whatever, you know. There, that's perfect. That's in position. That's in position. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. Now you can see that our wall is slightly off here. We might need to shift that wall a little bit more forward here. And we might need to shift this wall a little bit more in there rather than having that column stick out. I suppose we could. Be nice to have the columns landing on the wall though, those exterior columns. And it's only 1, 2, 3, those 4 there. But if it suits us better to have the retaining wall in that position, then you know, then perhaps we should leave it. We'll come back and we'll make a decision on that later. At least what the model is doing is posing these kind of problems to us here. All right. Do we need columns anywhere else? Next question. Yeah, we talked about columns in here, didn't we? We did, yeah. So again, just pick and go copy. And again, if I pick the edge of the column here, and yeah, it's this one. Okay, so we'll get one in there, and then over in this side here we'll go select that one, copy, and we'll bring that down to just here. Okay, now there's a first to fourth floor, and if I go back to my wireframe, you'll see that those columns are related back to that piece of structural wall that's going across there as well. Does that need to be made in situ cast? 50-50 between that and block work, as far as I'm concerned. Probably the QS will make that decision as to what's the cheaper way to do it. All right. Now, so do we need other columns in other positions? I don't think so. Because you got structure in here that's going the whole way up. We got structure in there that's going the whole way up. Structure in here. Structure across there. Structure across there. So for the moment, I'm going to say I think I'm good for columns. And I'll just go back and I'll select this one and that one, and I'll put it on the copy clipboard, and then I will paste them into the top and ground down there as well. Now let's take a look at the 3D. Some of these columns will be short, I know. So that one will need to come up. If I hit 0 on that. Top offset would be 0. Okay, they're -6.7 to be honest with you. Yeah. Okay, and it might be -670. So now I'll make those adjustments around here. I need to go into a section, check the columns in the basement here. And again, just bring them up to the underside of the, so let's get a distance on that. That will be 925. So top offset. If I do 0, it'll go right up through that, isn't that it? Yeah. And I don't want that, so I just want the thickness. Again, it's just a bit of working out to be done here into the structure. 375, so -375. Now I'll tidy all of those up, and then what I'll do is I will take the first floor columns, copy and paste them, and I'll put them into here, here, and here, and then we can review and see how we're doing on the columns there. Okay.